So today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite segments of a television newscast, and that is known as what are called kickers. A kicker is a lighthearted, fun, entertaining story that can either occur at the end of a segment of news, sports, weather, or it can happen at the end of a newscast in its entirety. And producers can use kickers to fill time at the end of their show. So if they have produced a show and it's running ahead of time and they have some extra time to fill, well, they can use a kicker to take care of that. Or likewise, if they have placed a kicker at the end of their show and their show's running over time and they need to cut something, well, instead of cutting an important story, they can just cut the kicker. And so kickers can be a wide variety of things. They tend to be funny or humorous or informative in a way that's entertaining, as opposed to informative like they present hardcore news or hard-hitting news. So kickers tend to be fun and lighthearted. And kickers can come in a wide variety of story formats. It can be a copy, a VO, a VOSOT, or even a package. So I want to take a look at a couple of different types of kickers that would show up possibly in a newscast. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be a kicker package. And this is going to center around a tradition that happens over here, in that around the middle of March we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and there's a creature that tends to coincide with St. Patrick's Day known as the leprechauns. And a local station believed or heard stories of a leprechaun visiting some of their local residents, so they decided to take out some cameras and a reporter and to look into it. So let's take a look at a kicker package.
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff, and it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm going to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold is. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
This is Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News.
People will do anything for a pot of gold. I mean, anything.
You know what I like? I like the amateur sketch of the leprechaun. It looks like somebody got a really good look at it and got that good drawing out there.
Who did that? I want to know who sketched that.
I don't know. Maybe Brian sketched it.
Doodling.
That was a good story.
So was that considered like breaking, hard-hitting, informative news? No. Was it informative and lighthearted and entertaining? Absolutely. So it's always a good thing for a kicker just to kind of have them to just kind of make your newscasts a little bit happier along the way. And so that was an example of a newscast that was a package. So now I want to show you another type. I'm sorry, not a newscast. That was a kicker that was a package. So now I want to show you another type of kicker that is a VO. So again, with this, in the way of a VO, the anchor is going to read and they're not going to stop. But while they are reading, a video is going to be playing that's going to coincide with what they're talking. So let's take a look at a VO kicker.
A woman in Australia is getting national attention for what she sleeps with in her bed. Take a look. That's a freshwater crocodile that Vicki Lowing is snuggling with. She says she saved the reptile when she found her dumped on her doorstep 2 decades ago. Who just dumps a crocodile on someone's doorstep? Anyway, since then, she nursed the creature back to health, and the two have formed a special bond.
First, initially, I was a little bit concerned when the snout's near your face, but I realised that she just wanted to be close to me.
Wow. Now, Lowing has several other exotic pets. I'm sure you're shocked, including an alligator in the bathroom. Why not? A saltwater crocodile in the garage. And there's a cat, and none of them seem to mind her little frisky feline. What a special place to go and visit. You can make it out alive.
She sleeps with it?
You know what? People sleep with their dogs and cats. Why not a reptile?
Okay, because his teeth are a lot sharper.
Oh,
and
it could
bigger.
kill you while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So in this case, I'm sorry, this was actually a Vosot instead of just a VO because they had that interview in there. So, fun little lighthearted story that just kind of provides you with a little information. So I'm going to show you one more kicker, and this one is a straight up VO, I believe. And this one talks about journalism and what happens to a journalist when they were doing a story on a skate park.
On live TV, anything can go wrong. As TV news veterans, Gina and I know all about that. And one Australian reporter learned that lesson the hard way.
You'd be right to be skeptical. Thousands of additional skateboards.
Oh, crikey. Good grief. Mike Amor from 7 Network was doing a story on hoverboards at a skate park in Los Angeles when he got whacked in the head right here by the old skateboard. As you can see him, they're clutching his noggin after the impact. Tough day on the job, mate, for sure. Now, thankfully, this bloke is okay. He walked away with just a little bump on his head and very likely a bruised ego, Gina.
Ooh, that hurt to watch, but I
One
tell
more
you
time?
what.
Yeah, bam, right there.
Now, you and I
He's
both
okay.
know nobody has battled it out more than Mark. He's battled an alligator.
Unbelievable.
He's dealt with snakes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done it all. So that really, a hit to the head is nothing.
It's incredible. The guy has wrestled about every mammal and
Yes.
reptile on planet Earth.
That's right.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,
So in this particular case, you can see from the video that we had the anchors, they talked a little bit about when he was reading the story, and then the co-anchor interjected, and then at the end of the story, they just sort of chit-chatted about what they saw and had different reactions. And you can even see in this shot that's being displayed that they've even incorporated the weather anchor into their discussion. So this tells me that they're trying to take up a little more time to fill out the end of the show. And because of that, the producer's probably telling them to stretch a little bit, and then they'll probably wind up going from this kicker maybe into a weather segment again. So they're able to do like a weather wrap up. That can also take up some time, but to really aid or add to a show, producers tend to have rundowns. They're not required, they're not mandatory, they're just beneficial to a lot of producers. And I've known that some producers will their normal show will have about 30 minutes of content, but then they'll schedule like a 30-second kicker after all that. So they'll actually have 30 minutes and 30 seconds in their show. And so if they really need to quickly kill something, kicker's gone. But if they're like, you know what, I'm running a little bit light, I'm running ahead of time, I need to make sure that I've gotten it in, so they'll bring the kicker back in. And the kicker could take like about 30 seconds. And then like you saw in the last video, the anchors can talk a little more about it, and they can stretch up time that way. So that is a look at kickers.